Derick Giwner, along with a man who got lost on his way to Indiana and ended up in Ohio, Matt Rose, and we're here to talk about Harrah's Hoosier Park for Friday, September the 24th. We're going to look at the Caesars Trotting Classic, $210,000 on the line, race number 13 on a great stakes card. They have a bunch of guaranteed wagers on the card, including a $20,000 guaranteed pick four. This race has a $25,000 guaranteed super pool. There's a $15,000 guaranteed high five in race 15. We're going to take a look at this race horse by horse, and we're going to start with Majestic Player, Matt.
Majestic Player. We've seen him pretty much competes in all these top events for the trotters, and it's usually about a notch below the upper echelon of trotters, but he always hangs around and usually grabs a share. If you look at his record, 120 grand this year, 454,000 lifetime. Tough to make a case for him winning this race, but I wouldn't be surprised if he came away with a decent piece.
One thing I'll toss in there, I remember speaking to the trainer, Walter Haynes, a long time ago, and he told me this is a creature of habit who likes to be in his own habitat, so maybe being home at Hoosier will help this guy out. Number 2 is Lindy the Great. He won the Maple Leaf Trot last time, and we're going to take a look at that replay right now.
This was at Woodbine Mohawk Park about 2-3 weeks ago, and Lindy the Great has been he's been chasing the top trotters all season, and finally breaks through with a nice win at a decent mutual with John McDonald. Pick up a catch drive for Andy and Julie Miller, and you see him just motor by here. And you know, it was a long time coming for a victory for him, and I've kind of been a fan of his all season long, and you know, finally gets the win at a decent price, and coming into this race certainly makes him a very logical contender here.
Yeah, there's no doubt he's a logical contender. I'm not crazy about his gait. You know, he's kind of a little bit sloppy gated wise, but you can't argue with 10 for 11. I think he is in the money this year, which is pretty solid. I'm certain he's going to be one of the contenders. I just don't know if I'd want him on top of my ticket as the potential favorite in here. I think there are other horses that look a little bit more enticing. Number 3, Guardian Angel Oz.
Guardian Angel Oz, you look at his lifetime record, 1.5 million in the bank. Clearly has some sort of physical issues, because you see him only race 8 starts last year. I believe this will be his 10th start this season, but he's going well now. Seems to be over his misbehaving problems, where sometimes throws in some miscues. He's been racing on a fairly regular schedule with a couple races in the Open at Yonkers, and we get a new driver tonight, or a returning driver in Brian Sears. At 10-1 morning line, I think he's a very interesting play here. With for sure, we know he can go with these when he's right, and I feel he's right now.
Well, he's certainly been a top horse over the years. I might question whether or not, as a 7-year-old now, late in his 7-year-old season, whether he lost a couple miles per hour off his fastball. But certainly, if he hasn't, he's a contender in here. The 4 is Sermon, and Sermon's the hottest horse in the race. I believe he's won 4 straight, 3 over this track. I mean, is he a horse that is up to par with maybe some of the others overall? Probably not, but maybe we should consider him.
Well, you mentioned with the one Majestic Player, maybe the home field advantage or be more comfortable at home. This guy Sermon has taken 3 straight in overnight races at Hoosier with Casper Fauget. I believe I said his name correctly. Clearly he gets along pretty well with this horse, but now he gets a real acid test, and not only horse, but driver also, you know, going against all the big boys. So I think clearly he's talented, but he'd have to work out a absolutely perfect trip, I think, to win this race, or to even make the ticket.
Number 5 is Ready for Money, and since this is my top pick in here and my single, almost my best bet on the card probably, I'll do a little bit more talking. 8-1 on the morning line, you could sign me up right now. I mean, in the Maple Leaf, had absolutely no shot. You know, was first over in the Invitational before that, first over in the Chasman before that, went a crazy trip in the Hambletonian Maturity. I mean, this horse really has more excuses than just about anyone I've seen. More excuses than you for showing up late for work. I mean, this horse has really been full of excuses
First,
here. And I see this as the perfect track for this horse. Hoosier's made for this kind of grinding type, off the pace horse. I mean, the long stretch is perfect for him. I absolutely love this horse in this spot.
you notice Dexter Dunn is driving tonight instead of Tim Tetrick, who's been his regular pilot. I assume you like that change as well. Listen, you said sign me up for 8-1. What price do you really think he's going to go off at here? Because I don't see him being 8-1.
I'm thinking I'm going to get somewhere in the 3-1, 7-2 range, and I'm thrilled with that. I mean, if you told me it was going to be 2-1, I might bet him. That's how much I like him in this spot.
Okay, I mean, I agree. I agree basically with everything he said. I like him too. And when we get down to showing our tickets and talking about how we're wagering on this race, I have a feeling Ready for Money will be prominent on both of our tickets. But yeah, 8-1 is very, very juicy. But yeah, I think we're looking at more like 5-2, 3-1.
The 6 is It's Academic. Has been a clear speed horse in the race. He's going to the lead here. There's no doubt about it. Maybe was a little bit sharper early in the year.
I would say definitely a little bit sharper in the year. It's not like he's been bad in any of these races, but he just hasn't won in a while. Had some excuses, but the last couple of races, just in overnight events at Yonkers, he really didn't have an excuse. We saw Guardian Angel beat It's Academic a few weeks ago in the Open of Yonkers at the Sit in a Pocket trip. Listen, this guy can step back up and win at any given time. It's just he hasn't had that winning knack recently, and it's kind of tough, I guess, to take him at a short price. Not that it's going to be a very short price in here. He'll probably be somewhere around that 3-1 that he is on the morning line. But hey, can he win this race? Of course. But he just it's just he hasn't won in a while, and maybe he lost that winning feeling and got to get his confidence back somewhere. But who knows? He regained his confidence in a hurry with a win at Hoosier Park on Friday.
We watched the Maple Leaf Trot earlier, and the horse that came in second was the 7 Forbidden Trade. Trainer Luke Blade does not ship his horses outside of Canada unless they have a big shot to win.
Yeah, and I think he does have a big shot. Bob McClure's regular driver is coming in to drive as well, freshened up with a qualifier and a relatively slow time at Woodbine Mall Park, but I guess the time doesn't really matter. Yeah, this guy, I don't know what kind of trip he's looking at here. I suppose he's going to be forwardly placed. I can't imagine a strategy to come from well back is going to suit him very well. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't fault anyone with going in his direction at what should be around 8-1 or maybe more on his listed morning line. So certainly a value horse and a contender at a price to sneak into the number.
Another sharp Canadian shipper is the 8 Oney Hall. And is this horse going to leave here? I mean, because otherwise, how does he get into the race?
I mean, that's an age-old question for a lot of races and a lot of horses. He's been doing great in basically top-notch, top-level preferred events in Canada. Racing the stakes race, the Euro with Georgian Downs, and finishing okay third behind Forbidden Trade. You notice we get to Andrew McCarthy driving instead of his regular driver up at the Mohawk. Yeah, I mean, you got to try. He's another one. He's not going to be able to probably sweep this field. So Andrew McCarthy's got to try to get out and get some sort of position. But is he good enough to maybe have to make a second move and beat this caliber of horses? I'm not 100% sure. I think he's a fringe, maybe third or fourth player in this race.
Number 9 is a favorite of DRF harness contributor Greg Reinhardt, loved by the masses, and he's been a horse that maybe has come up a little short against the best horses in the division, but did win the Vincennes this year.
Yeah, he won the Vincennes on Hambo Day, which is the I guess you could say the Hambo Day undercard, and that was a nice effort. Tim Tetrick is back aboard, but tough spot. I mean, is he coming away last and having to sweep the field or pass a bunch of horses against a number? Probably. It's another horse that holds his own, is a great earner, but has to prove himself versus the upper echelon of trotters. And unfortunately for his connections, Jeff Culliper had a great season, a great year, obviously, not only in Hoosier, but Meadowlands and wherever else he goes. But yeah, this is he's a little bit on the outside looking in, I think, especially from the 9-post.
Well, as we mentioned, the Caesars Trotting Classic comes with a $25,000 guaranteed superfecta pool, and we're going to take a look at our tickets here. When you look at mine, it's pretty obvious what I like, and that's Ready for Money on top. I use Lindy the Great, It's Academic, and Forbidden Trade in the second and third spots. But quite frankly, my ticket only costs $720. I would probably play a second ticket also with 5, with 267, with all with 267. Just in case you get one of those bombs in the third spot, because that could really make the super pay a lot more.
All right, I mean, it's a 20-cent minimum, so it's only $7.20. My ticket, I want a little bit more because I used 2 horses on top. I went with Guardian Angel Oz. He's kind of my sneaky price play, who I think maybe I get around 10 to 1. I just have a feeling I like what Brian Sears popping back up on this horse. And like I mentioned, he's going well. I also use Ready for Money, Lindy the Great, and it's Academic in the second spot. We're going to use Forbidden Trade and Oney Hall in the third spot, and I did not use the ever popular All in the fourth leg to keep the cost down. The only other horse I threw in the fourth spot was Majestic Player, who I mentioned I think it would be a fringe, a save ground type of race from this spot. You can sneak onto the tickets. The reason I didn't go all is just, even though it seems simple, okay, I'll just click it all on the last leg. It increases the price from $19.20 to, I believe, $28.80 or something like that. So you're adding, 33% to the price of the tickets. To try to sneak, 1 or 2 extra horses in the fourth spot. So I scaled it down. I did not go at all and keep the price down. $19.20 for having 2 horses on top, I think is a pretty decent value and structure ticket here. And, if you're doing well leading up to this race, by all means, throw it all in or hit the repeat button a couple times with $19.20 is a pretty reasonable ticket. And we'll try to get Guardian Angel on top at 8, 9, 10 to 1, something like that.
Yeah, when it comes in 3, 5, 8, 4, and you just miss and you're pulling your last hair out, we'll all be okay with that, right?
So be it. I'm sure I'll have some win action on Guardian Angel also, to at least make me feel a little bit better. But you can't go all in every race in these superfectas because it really does bump up the price a lot. You click one extra horse there, you're looking at combination how much you're going to pay, and then boom, the ticket goes from 19 to 28. Sure, it could work out in your favor, in this race or in any specific race, but over the course of time, it'll kind of eat away at your bankroll sometimes.
Well, race number 13 is the Caesars Trotting Classic. It's at Harrah's Hoosier Park. I almost said that wrong. There's so many Harrah's. I was going to say Harrah's Philadelphia there. Harrah's Hoosier Park, September the 24th, $210,000 race, 15 race card, post time 6:30. Don't forget to watch it live on DRF. Good luck.